Staying with Mid-East politics, millions of Israelis went to the polls in the nation's parliamentary elections yesterday. And as many predicted, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's Likud party emerged victorious, but by a surprisingly narrow margin. The party lost 11 seats in the Knesset, which will likely force Netanyahu to build a new governing coalition. So what does this mean for U.S. relations with Israel? Here to help us answer that question is Dovid Efune, editor of the Algemeiner newspaper. Dovid, welcome back. Good to have you.
Pleasure is mine, Amy. Thank you for having me.
So this was a very surprising result for the Likud party and Netanyahu. Polling going into the election said that he was going to win handily, but in fact, it was a squeaker. The AP even said that Netanyahu was broadsided by what they called the stunning election deadlock. What's your read?
Well, first of all, I think the important thing to keep in mind is that in the outgoing parliament, Prime Minister Netanyahu actually only had 27 seats. It was his coalition with the Yisrael Beitenu party, with Avigdor Lieberman, which combined had 42 seats, which has dropped now down to about 31 seats. So in and of itself, it is somewhat of a loss, but the Prime Minister is actually controlling more seats than he controlled before. What he's going to have to do now is to create a coalition. And it seems that a lot of those voters from the Yisrael Beitenu party of Avigdor Lieberman have now moved over to Naftali Bennett, who brought in about 11 seats. So really, it seems as if the pieces moved around a little bit, but I would definitely not say that this was a leftward shift.
Dovid, a lot of the mainstream media is saying that this was a slap at Netanyahu, and they point to this newcomer to the political party, the Yesh Atid, the There Is a Future party, and the seats that they won, and that they tend to be a little to the left of Netanyahu. Is that true? I've read conflicting analysis that, in fact, this other party really doesn't have so many differences with the Likud party and Netanyahu. What is your read on that?
Let's break it down. Let's break down Yair Lapid. He's definitely a newcomer. He's a likable guy, nice face, and he's really captured some voters. In terms of the issues, we've got to divide it when it comes to Israeli politics. On the social issues, definitely a movement to the left. On the political issues and the issues that the United States cares about and the international community cares about, he's actually pretty close to Netanyahu. So, for example, he is in favor of expanding key settlement blocks in and around Jerusalem. He is in favor of Israel keeping other settlements that are not connected to Jerusalem, for example, Ariel, which was where he actually launched his campaign from the settlement of Ariel. He's likely very close to in the same spot as Netanyahu when it comes to Iran. And, you know, to be honest, analysts in Israel are telling me that about 35% of his support has come from the party of Avigdor Lieberman, the Yisrael Beitenu party, which the media is very fond of describing as ultra-hawkish. So not much shift there at all. He is a true centrist when it comes to these issues, and he is definitely not on the same page as President Obama.
So, Dovid, perhaps President Obama will continue to believe that Israelis don't know their own best interests. Dovid, thank you for joining us. We appreciate you having us.
Pleasure, Amy.
Thank you. So it's clear President Obama has very bold, very progressive plans for a second term. But could all that ambition actually work against his own party? Will Kane will explain after the break.